Welcome back to PI Today podcast. I'm Amelia Brummel of TBI Analytics, the co-host, and I have the beautiful Jenn Gore from Atlanta, Georgia, here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on. Always good to do a podcast with you.
Absolutely. We're sisters from another mister, so
Yes.
when in Rome, we've got to get together and do this. And we are here at the CSIMS conference in San Diego. It's just a beautiful setting. We have amazing people here like Jenn and all these other attorneys that are coming together in the med-legal space, helping each other get on that same team and, really helping our patients, our clients get the right diagnosis, getting their treatment, getting them that settlement or verdict, or helping them get on their next path, right? And just now we were watching you on a panel with other lawyer women out there, and you were discussing some amazing things that women in general should just hear out. You don't have to be a lawyer to understand the topics that we were talking about, right? And so I wanted you to go into that a little bit more and what that means to you, to be up on a panel of women and being looked at as a leader in this space. What's that like for you? And I just want you to share a little bit more on your insight as a female lawyer in this med-legal space and
Yeah, so it was a panel on women in the law breaking barriers, and always like such an honor to be asked to speak on a panel like that. It's so funny, like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, people want you to talk on a topic that like at one point, nobody really paid you any attention.
right. And you were looking at other people
Yeah,
doing
I
things
remember
like
being
this.
in the audience and like wanting to hear. It was always like, I want to, if I was a young lawyer and I was at an event like this, I would have wanted to go sit in the audience and hear women talk about, their journey and how they became successful. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
I talked about the other day. I don't know about you, but I didn't have like a lot of women that were executives or super successful or lawyers in my life growing up. Like
Same.
I didn't really know them. Maybe I'd heard about them on TV, but I didn't have like an intimate relationship where I could ask questions. And yet sometimes I'm like, we're just making this up as we go.
Right. Yes. And recently, you've had some major shifts in your career that are exciting, and to some would seem intimidating.
Really?
Yeah. Just to be making a change in your career like that. And so Jenn is an amazing lawyer. 14 years ago, started your own firm.
Yeah. So, actually, what was it? 12 to 13 years ago. I started Atlanta Personal Injury Law Group when I graduated law school and got my license.
And how many women in your arena were really opening up their own practice as a female lawyer?
That I don't know.
Sorry.
Obviously, less than
Yeah, that what there is now.
less common, but I have to thank my dad. My dad was an entrepreneur, and he had always said to me when I was a little girl, one day you'll own your own company. And so that was very like, as you know, what you believe comes true. And so I was very focused on starting my own law firm very early on.
Didn't you write a letter for school or something
Oh,
about
this
this?
is a funny story.
Yes, we
So-
have to talk about this. Yes.
When my grandma died 2 years ago, we were going through her stuff, and I found a bunch of stuff that she had kept from when I was a child. And funny enough, it was a demand letter that I wrote when I was like 11, that I would write these demand letters to my dad's business as like a prank
Right.
that I was suing him. And what is so crazy is there's no lawyers in my family. And so I don't know where I got
Where
this
you got
idea that
this.
I'm going to write, like, I'm suing your trucks from your business for running over my client. And I would, I would type them on a typewriter in my dad's office, and then I would leave them on his desk.
On a typewriter, by the way. I love typing on a typewriter.
I loved a typewriter
Yes.
in the 90s. And so, like, it was crazy because I'd even forgot about doing this. I didn't remember doing this. I also used to publish a newsletter and deliver it to my neighborhood.
That's awesome.
So I was like a weird kid, I guess. But like I loved going to my dad's office and like pretending I was in
Right.
business,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my grandma was the secretary and she must have kept these things. And so
Oh my
what's
gosh.
very weird is the firm that I'm now I've merged my firm with Sweet James and I'm the partner on the East Coast in Georgia, and my whole firm merged into Sweet James. What's really odd is that I had signed that I was a lawyer at Jacoby and Myers.
Oh wow.
And what's odd is that my partner Steve Mayer used to own Jacoby and Myers.
Right. It was just recent
Yeah. Years
transition.
ago,
Yeah.
he was a key component of that firm. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that's like a weird meta, like universal wink.
It's so
Yeah.
when you
So
really think about that, that is
that at
very
creepy in
bizarre
a
and
way, right?
creepy.
Like I
Yes.
was saying I'm working at that firm, and you know,
Yeah, it's like you traveled in time.
weird.
It really is. You went through a portal and you knew this many
So
years later, I'm
wild.
going to be a lawyer
So I have
somehow.
this letter like framed in my office on the wall. I also have my acceptance letter to law school framed in my office. I was rejected from law school 3 times.
It's nuts.
I was so angry, like because I was trying to go to law school at a time when like 2008, and a lot
Uh-huh.
of
Oh
people were
gosh,
going to
yeah.
school. It was really competitive to get in, and I wanted to become a lawyer so bad, and I had to wait like an extra 2 years because I didn't get in. And I remember when I finally went, I was like, "You guys are not gonna regret
Regret
this
this
decision."
exactly.
And
Or you're going to regret not doing this 2 years ago.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that's the
such a
fire.
like a 360 now. Is I'm one of their distinguished alumni, and my picture is on the wall in the law school, and I feel like I have like met my obligation of you let me in, I'm gonna make you proud,
Right. You sure did.
and
That's awesome. Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah,
So cool.
this panel was really good. I think we're hitting a lot of the topics that women struggle with.
The supposed to's, the program, the
How
your 9 to 5 because a female.
how has this affected you in your dealings with the legal world?
Oh, good question. Because yes, being on the vendor partner side of things to supportive of the med legal space, you're still met with a majority of them are male. And I grew up with 3 brothers, so I know how to operate around a male's environment. And I think that's what groomed me to be in this space, truly. And also sports, playing, on a team sports, really, you have to learn humility, you have to learn leadership, you have to learn teamwork. There are so many things that go into that. But I just, I could see the barrier in that just being a female itself and then being a good looking female is also, a kind of like a status quote in here. I'm trying to say is when you're better looking in
Well,
this
the world
space.
rewards better looking people.
Right.
There's science on that, which is, in some ways unfortunate. In some ways, you just have to accept that's the reality of the human being, is that they make snap judgments on people based on their looks.
Right. And knowing that now I'm considered a booth babe, right? So
It's so funny.
right. So when you're first looked at in this way, first starting out, you're looked at like, oh, okay, how much does she really know, or how much is she just being that face?
Yeah.
And so that was already, something I had to look beyond and go past. So
But you're an OG now, so do you run into that still?
no, not as much. You just kind of carry yourself differently when you've been in this world a little longer. Confidence. And then when you kind of understand where the male ego fits in with the female ego, you just, you can handle yourself in this space because you just can give it back. Now, when you actually are working on these cases and showing your skill set and you're actually genuinely concerned about how this outcome is going to matter for that patient or that client,
I think
then
your genuine care
you're
for the work you're
genuine.
doing always
It
transcends.
just does.
Like
Yes.
when people talk to you, they know that you truly are passionate about the work you do and knowledgeable and want to deliver value.
Right. So I was always out there. I'm not just a pretty face, I promise. And it's one of those things. Yes, I definitely had that barrier, to come over to overcome. But yes, I think women just in general get placed in a box that we're supposed to be the ones doing all the things for our families, for, even if we're at a work setting and we have males there, we're looked at in a way to do different things than them, maybe setting up the conferences that they don't want any part of because we're emotionally in tune to what people, can need and do. So I just try to be as neutral as possible from a male's perspective as well as a female, knowing that I was able to surround myself with men and understand where they're coming from and be able to talk to them in a professional and educational platform. And when you come to them with some stuff that they're really going to learn, educational, now you're looked at as more of a partner in this and not just a pretty face. And so, and then having technology on a brain MRI and having access to that's in a nutshell just something that gets you in the door too.
I want to talk about this on a controversial level so we
Yeah.
can really there's so much political the political talk about what the politically correct way to discuss this topic, right?
Right. Yes.
And I want, if anyone is listening to this that's a
Yeah.
woman in the industry, I want to just be as blunt as possible so that some breakthrough can occur if you are listening to this and this is a topic you're struggling with.
Love it.
Candidly, I think how you enter a situation like this is very important. And again, if you have daughters, I was blessed and grateful that my upbringing was you are equal, if not more than anyone around you. And that confidence was instilled in me at a very young age. So I feel like I would approach rooms where I felt I belonged to be there. And if you go into a place feeling like I belong to be here, I'm as smart as other people. There's a lot of people that are smart that I can learn from, but I know I'm a competent, capable, smart human. And you don't come in feeling like you don't belong.
With insecurities.
If you go into a room with insecurities, feeling like I don't belong, everyone else knows more than me. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I may have been the least knowledgeable person in the room, but I was the most curious. I had the most questions, and I was obsessed with wanting to learn.
And you probably announced that you don't know everything.
Oh,
And
I don't
I'm
know
here-
everything.
Yeah.
But I'm here to learn.
Yes.
And I have a lot of questions that maybe other people are too afraid to ask. And I'm willing to go up to the most successful person in the room and say, can you help me? I want to learn. I have questions. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And if you come in the room to seek to gain value from other people, they can feel that. I don't really care what they think about me. I'm here for a mission. I've got to get this information.
Yeah.
And I want to become better. If you're focused on that angle,
you're going to get it in return.
Yeah, every time someone comes to your booth, if you're a woman working at a booth and you're my goal is that you walk away with a piece of information that helps your business.
Yes.
All that other noise, we can put that to the side.
Exactly.
You need to focus on value and learning, and you have to have a level of self confidence in my whole idea is I don't know everything, and I think you're this way too, but I can find what I need.
Right. You can be resourceful. You can figure it out. Plus, as you and I both know, we're big believers in law of attraction.
Oh my gosh.
And how you operate. And I know
your energy.
Your energy.
When you enter a room, do you bring light and happiness and uplift people, or are you like really nervous and
Yeah.
insecure, and you make people feel like a little anxious. So like controlling your energy.
Yes, yes. And being that open space of transparency instead of what you think people want to hear.
Yeah, like let's put all that to the side. Like let's have real conversations that go way below like surface level.
Yeah.
So I think that's a vulnerability.
Yep. And people need to be okay with being vulnerable in this space. And that's what I found even working with male attorneys. They are just as vulnerable as females are. In fact, they could be even more vulnerable because they're not, societal to show their emotions as much as we are accepting to get that from a female. So they're put more in a box too in that regard. And but when you can get them to, anybody to be in a vulnerable space and say this is okay, we've all started there, we've all been there, then it makes you feel like you are on the same page with even somebody that you deem is way up here, because even those huge people that you think are way above you have those same insecurities.
And
And
they
that's what,
want to
yeah.
help somebody who they see is curious and
Yes.
ambitious and is like they like when I meet a young woman that is like comes up to me and says like, "Hey, can you help me?" I'm drawn to help that person.
Yes.
So,
It's innate
yeah,
to
like
do that.
the key to life is asking for the help you need. On the other end, I would just say, we're talking about women and in the legal space. You have to be your own brand, your own. Like, I'm not trying to be a male in the legal space. I'm
Right.
trying to be me. So, like, what is the Jenn Gore version of law? Like, I have my own flavor and spin of like what that looks like. You have your own, the Amelia
Yep.
style of like business. Like, you cannot try to be,
Somebody you're not.
yeah, or
Or
like
try and fit in somebody else's ideal of what that looks like.
when I first was a lawyer, I used to wear like really boxy looking suits to try to like almost fit into what I thought was the legal way. And I used to wear collared shirts,
Yeah.
and it's like that's not me, but I was trying to be that.
Right.
Like
I
bend myself to
same.
fit into.
Yep.
Now look, you're wearing purple. Like that's a very
Yeah.
non-traditional legal color. I never wear a collared shirt. I'm wearing like my version of like what I love to wear, which is like tweed dresses. I like developed my own style. Like this is just a one example of like putting your own spin on the legal space.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to do it your own way. You're not
Absolutely.
going to be able to do it like everyone else has developed their brand.
Right. And then it will flow together. You're going to look more confident. You're going to look more, you're going to feel better about just what you're doing.
You have to be
And
you.
You have to be you. Yeah. It has to flow. It has to make sense for you. And when you are being somebody you're not, then
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious. You were mentioning a little bit ago how to feel that discomfort. And I want to go into that a little bit more on when you are comfortable somewhere, like you were saying that not women, I don't want to generalize that, even even a man could sit there and say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm too comfortable, or I am comfortable, I like comfort. But what were you saying about getting out of that comfort zone, and how's that challenging, and why?
So I ask myself a lot of times, like, am I getting comfortable? Any area in your life that you're getting comfortable is like you're losing momentum and growth. And so, this past year with the merger, that was something extremely outside of my comfort zone.
Right.
I've never
And let's
done
go
that.
back to that. So we were saying you started your company 13 plus years ago, your own law firm. You were growing it.
Yeah.
How fast? Like within.
Yeah, we were about 40 people. We were doing well. We were, on the Inc. 5000. Like the firm really wasn't even positioned to be for sale. I was just growing my firm,
Right.
living my life.
And were you ever comfortable in that? Or were you always pushing the
I
envelope
think
there?
owning a business is the key to personal development because it will bring up every insecurity, every trigger. Being an entrepreneur, you're going to be constantly hit with new level, new devil. You have new challenges at every turn. What worked at one stage doesn't work at the next. there's always new lessons being unfolded when you run a business. I was going through all of that, and I had this sense that, like, this sounds, again, like I operate a lot off of my intuition, but my intuition kept telling me, like, I really want a quantum leap. And a quantum leap is like a 10x.
Yep.
And I kept feeling like I really want to, like, make like a big jump.
Yeah.
You know, you're making jumps and jumps and jumps, and like sometimes you get this feeling like I really want to have like a next level change.
Yeah.
And I was going through a divorce at the time, so maybe I was just like really open to a real big shakeup. And this is what happens, like, I feel it and I know there's something like about to come around the corner, but then you have to have the courage to actually leap
Right.
because it's unknown.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I can keep doing what I'm doing and get the same results, or maybe the incremental growth like that I'm getting, which is still great. Or I can like really push myself outside of my comfort zone. And what happens for me, and I'm curious if this is for you, but like when I really embrace that and I put myself under that pressure of like change, like magic happens. Like,
It just comes at you without even trying.
yeah, it's
It's
like there was a point in 2018 where I had on my vision board that I wanted to speak on stages, and it was so hard to just get asked to speak on one thing, and I was like, I want to be able to give back the way people have taught me on stage. And like now I get asked to speak on stage with zero effort.
Right.
Like I don't even try.
Right.
Like once you get into your rhythm and like I think success begets success, like it's cumulative.
Yep.
Once you reach over certain tipping points, it all starts to flow.
Yes, exactly. And something triggered that too, with you finding and really stirring up the law of attraction and really manifesting and getting into that meditative state. And that's a huge part of your practice, I know now. Yeah, that's
Controlling your mind.
controlling that mindset. Yes.
Having mind control. I mean, I do therapy, I do brain tap, I do personal development. I surround myself with a lot of people in masterminds. Like I go to a lot of lengths to make sure I'm checking myself that I'm not starting to spiral and self-sabotage, because when you're in a high growth state, you're either going to continue growing or you're going to start sabotaging.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sabotaging can show up in a lot of different ways. For me, sometimes it will show up in I stop taking risks. I stop being vocal about things. You can retreat.
Yes. I know that hermit mode.
Yeah. So I have to constantly like check myself as like with my therapist, even of like, this is what I'm thinking. Reframe this for me in a way that is productive.
Ah, yes.
I'm feeling this way, and she'll flip it on me and she'll go, okay, the framework's off. The way you're thinking about this is not correct. And sometimes you really need an outside friend or
Right.
a mentor or a therapist to reframe things, because our underlying fears can start warping our reality.
They can. It just seeps into it. If you're not consistently in charge of that mindset and being mentally prepared. And one of the things you shared with me is you went to a Tony Robbins
last year.
event, and it was Tony Robbins that said the 300 list, or was that somebody else?
The 300 list project, that was actually Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Steve
That's
Harvey
awesome.
is deep into mindset stuff, and he had a TikTok where he challenged people to write 300 things that you want to be, do, or have in your lifetime.
Wow.
So the concept of it is that if you listen to his video, when people get to number 75, they often are at their like exhaustion, like they have nothing else to write.
Right.
And he forces like he challenges you. It took me several months to get the list up to
300.
like 250.
Yeah.
How, if you go on every trip you wanted to go on, and you
Right.
buy every car, if you
Right.
do every charitable event, like what more would you want? And I think it's expanding your mind to saying,
Getting creative.
what do I
Yeah.
really want beyond all these material things?
Right. Yep.
which is a deeper question.
Yep.
And I started thinking, like, okay, I have everything in the world. Like, let's just stop in our mind for a moment and think you have every possible desire.
Right.
What's next?
Right.
That's a deep question.
It is.
What came to me through that process was like, who would I want to invest in? And, Mary Lou, one of my mentors as well, she said to me when she did the list, she wrote down like 10 people that she would want to 10x their life.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So then it's like,
It's
well,
beyond her.
what is your legacy? What is the impact you want to make? Beyond the material things.
Exactly.
It's like that is a whole nother level, right?
Yep.
And so through that process, it's also like a refinement process of like, do I really want this? Like, what do you know what's the biggest, craziest thing where, Amelia, we talk about this? Like, most people do not even know what they want in life.
I know. I know. It's so true. They're just operating, from their hip. Just
What can I have?
what can I
What's
have?
available, but not what do I really want in a relationship, in my career. Like, that's a really actually deep question to say. What do I really want if anything's possible?
Yes. Yeah. If you could have anything, do anything, be anything, what would that be? And it is very hard for people to define that.
Why do you think that is?
Oh man.
Because when we're kids, people ask you, what do you want? Really open-endedly. And it's almost like when you're a kid, that's an easier question to approach because
Yeah, you're not
life
aware
hasn't
of
really
everything.
happened.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
have a lot of biases.
Yeah. You're like, what do I want? I want the shoes that girl is wearing. I want,
I want to be an
wanna
NFL
do that.
player
Yeah.
or an NBA
Yeah.
star. Like, it's
Right.
really open.
Yep.
But as we get older, it's like that
It
collapses.
kind of closes in on you. Yeah. So it becomes, I guess, at the end of the day, when you get to that end of the road, where are you going to be okay and satisfied with how you lived that life, and what did you do with it? Um, and in my opinion, it's, we come here to have a purpose that's bigger than us. And when we get to that end of the road, how effective were we in that, reaching the masses with the domino effect of how you were?
Yeah, and
know.
we just had this conversation the other day because your dad passed.
Yeah.
And I've been following you on that journey. And
Yeah.
I asked you a question, which was like, what have you learned through the passing of your dad?
Yeah.
And like, I think you had a really profound answer.
And that was that I could see that at the end of the day, I learned that love, truly, that supportive foundation of a love bubble that you can make for those around you,
The legacy of
the
your dad.
legacy of that dad. Because how do you want to be remembered? I would want to be remembered that I was effective in a way that made. How did I make you feel when you were around me? Did I make you feel loved? Did I make you feel supported? Did I make you feel, um, inspired?
Inspired.
You know,
Have you ever heard of that book? I don't remember the title, but like the concept is like everybody is either a giver or a taker in energy.
yes.
And I think, you have this energy that is like very giving and illuminating, and people are drawn to it because I always come away from our conversations expanded
Oh,
and
that's
like
cool.
uplifted because of the kind of conversations we have. We have very deep,
Yes.
honest conversations because you're available for that. And I think that's what you're describing with your dad. It's like,
Yes.
what is when someone has an interaction with you, are you an do they walk away with more
Right.
or less?
Right. That's a perfectly good way to put it. And I would have to say, my dad on his deathbed said he has no regrets on how he didn't get that car he always wanted, or whatever material it was. He had no regrets because he lived his life with that purpose of truly genuinely having compassion for other people, and how does that reflect value wise, moralistic, all of that. And when at the end of the day you've lived that way, there's nothing more that you can sit there and go, God, I wish I went on, had that car. I wish I had that house. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Or that job.
And I'm not saying having those things isn't
Isn't
great, but I
great.
think that if you
Yes.
have it all, there's something beyond that.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
think we get too caught up in, these things are all very attainable. You can have
Yeah.
any. Zig Ziglar says if you want anything, anything is available to you if you help people get what they want, right?
Yes.
Help other people solve their
Yes.
problems, and universal abundance is
It just
available
comes to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, these are the kind of conversations I want to see women engaging in. I don't want to see every conversation just talking about how hard it is to be a woman.
Right.
It's
No, no,
also
no.
a
Let's change that story.
superpower.
It is. It really is. It's a superpower to have. We are
Your thing
emotionally
is
in tuned.
the Superwoman,
The Superwoman.
the Wonder Woman.
Yes. Yes. We are all Wonder Women. We are all Superman. And it's all about shining those gifts that we do have and being proud of it, being confident in it, and knowing that even if you don't look like Wonder Woman, you still have the attributes of Wonder Woman, right? So that's just a metaphor, to show it and to show it off. But we are all that, and yeah. So what I was gonna say is, with the whole feeling like, and the people have all the things that they all want, as far as having all the money you want, having all the items you want, material. But what do you have inside of you that is reflective when you walk in a room and you get that? Nobody knows what car you drive when you walk in a room. Nobody knows what house you have. Nobody knows if you're dealing with something, really awful. It's how do you present yourself without all of that. And we also know that when you put your mindset right, we can have anything we ever want.
It's all available.
It's all available.
I think when I think about success, there's like a couple things that I think about in success, which is like personal success, professional success, and financial success. And I think a lot of people have one or two, but they don't have all three.
Right.
And I think to really live a successful life, you need all three.
You do.
There's a lot of people that they have a lot of financial success, they have a lot of professional success, but they don't have any personal success. And that might be like what you're describing with your dad, which is like you have a really great personal life, you have a great marriage, you have a great partnership, you have adult children that still want to hang out with you. You have, personal aspects to your life outside your professional career that really bring you a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
I think that there are people that have, on the other side, maybe they have a great personal life, but they don't have the career of their dreams. Like, I want to encourage every woman, every person that listens to this, like, go for it all.
Go for it all. And that's why we have that internal compass of emotions we feel in our gut. If you feel that gut feeling, you could be a man feeling this too. It doesn't have to be a female. But when you feel that sense and that drive, that sick feeling that something's missed, it's because you're not aligned with who you really are.
True.
And when you do get aligned with that, and you're doing things operating from what you feel is best for you, not for what's best for somebody else who thinks that you should do this. This is where
Unlock.
Yep. And that's where all things show up, because, when you get your gut and mind right.
Do you believe in telepathy?
Oh, I believe in telepathy. That's how people communicated before all the phones and everything. Yep.
We had that happen just yesterday.
Just yesterday. So good. So when you're on that same frequency and you're tapped in, turned on, that is where it flows.
State.
It's the flow state. And how do we get there? Meditation, taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep at night, making sure you are building that foundation
And coming to life with a curiosity and a vulnerability and
yeah,
a I'm here to learn and create value
right.
and putting everything else to the
Yeah,
side.
exactly. And not having that expectation of anything, really. It's an expectation of just feeling good in what you're doing. And if you have that sick feeling, then there's something going on there that we should look at. Is it the job that you're in?
The
Are you the
relationship.
relationship you're in? There's a reason why you're feeling that. And that is our a compass to say, let's stop. How can we look at this
And
differently?
then be brave
And be
enough to
brave.
do the thing that's hard, whether it's to
Yes.
leave that job,
Yes.
leave that relationship,
Yes.
make a hard decision, take a risk. I
Because when you choose
promise
you, the universe will work whatever magic it has to,
the
because
universe is
it will.
conspiring
It
for
will
your
conspire.
ultimate benefit, but you have to be brave.
You have to be brave. Take that step over that cliff. I know we've both been through some major challenges, but we still held
for
our
our
head high. And yeah,
for
but
our ultimate benefit.
for our ultimate benefit, absolutely. Because when we are in that, our kids benefit, our spouse benefits, the work around you benefits. Everybody sees this and
People know
feels
if you're
it.
happy.
People just know. Yep. It's written all over you
Yeah,
for
I'm very
sure.
happy. But I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, like, I wouldn't be here today without all that
With all the
adversity.
adversity, the contrast is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, the yin and the yang. You can't have one without the other. And it's those bad, what we call bad, but it's all just experience. And how we look at it is what's going to help, you know, bring us into that next world
I
that we're
have
going
like a
to.
little sticky note on my computer and I say, there's two of them. One says, "What is this here to teach me?" Every single thing, every difficult thing, every horrible thing.
What is this to teach me?
And
Exactly.
then my number two is, "What would this look like if it were easy?" Because sometimes I feel like we overcomplicate it.
Yes. Yes. Just simplify it. Maybe compartmentalize. Maybe take the emotions out of it. Take that 40,000-foot view of what's going on. Yep, and tap out and turn the static off, because when you are in that space, they're downloaded thoughts, right? It just, whoa, where'd that show up?
I think also like the game of shoots and ladders. Like sometimes we think it's got to be this
Yes.
long journey, and sometimes it's
Yes.
just down.
Oh, I tell people I'm in a pinball machine all day. It's okay. I'm going over here. Oh, you're answering the phone and you're dealing with kid over here. We're constantly, but when you can be in that flow state,
It all works.
it all works. It all just, okay, this is what's showing up. One of the things I like to do, and we'll come to a close on this. One of the things I like to set the intentions of my day. And, people can call it prayer, people can call it whatever, but my intentions is my connection with my higher self to say, higher self, you know best, and you know who needs me out there. So rather than making that my effort, can you put the people in front of me that need me? And how can I benefit them more? Show me those people. And sure enough, now I'm looking around the corner. Who's coming up to my booth? Oh, universe told them to come to me.
Yep.
So that's where I really keep that in mind. And when you do, you're just more excited to
And
meet
you're not
people.
transactional.
And you're not transactional. And it's not because, yeah, I'm not talking to that person because I think they're going to do business with me. I'm talking to that person because they showed up
And I want to help them.
and I want to help them, whatever that might be. It might be personal reasons, it might be business related. It does not matter. They're showing up. How many billions of people do we have in this world? And you're in front of me. There's a reason for that.
I love it.
So we go into the intentions with that, and then you can have fun with every day. You can dance with what universe is
Work-life
bringing.
integration.
Yes. It's not, like you said, it's not a ladder linear thing. It can be all over the place. But just keep that, mindset in a right space, and it'll be a lot easier to live this life. So,
It's fun.
yeah, it's so fun.
I have fun every day.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. I think you feel this way too. Like
Yes.
my life is like I get to live this life.
I get to live this life. So, it reminds me of when my dad was in his final stages, and, even down to the, having to go out, up to my parents 10 minutes away, but I might be in the middle of something, and they call me because they need my help to help him. And, I show up and they're going, I'm so sorry to pull you from your day. And I'm like, no, I get to do this. Are you kidding me? And a chance to see you again?
It's
Absolutely.
the way you looked at it.
It's the way you mind frame. Yep, you frame it. So yeah, we, like Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
100%. What a great quote to end on.
Yes, to end on. So with that, thank you so much, Jen. Always a pleasure to talk to you about everything. We can go in and out of different things.
I know. I get goosebumps when we talk.
Yes, me too.
Love you.
I love you too so much. I mean, you really get it, and I love it. And just dance with what life presents you, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's all we're doing here.
Yes.
Just dance. It has to be extremely frustrating to anyone experiencing TBI-like symptoms only to get a standard brain MRI that shows nothing to support a TBI diagnosis and comes back normal. TBI Analytics is an advanced brain imaging company specializing in diagnosing TBI when a standard brain MRI doesn't cut it. Our expert neuroradiologists provide a 40-plus page report identifying all the fiber tracts that are damaged due to the axonal shearing and that happens when a traumatic brain injury occurs. Standard brain MRIs are used to identify brain bleeds and emergency situations when someone has been injured, but it doesn't provide a full spectrum of what is happening in the gray and white matter of the brain. More than you might think happens to the integrity when that jello-like texture of our brain slams against the sharp-edged skull and bounces all over, causing the symptoms TBI victims complain about. Depending on what lobe of the brain is affected will determine the likelihood of what possible behavior-related or cognitive-related symptoms the patient is having. At TBI Analytics, rest assured, patients can now get the results they deserve and need to know in order to obtain the right treatment going forward. It's time to take the guesswork out on what is happening and get your no-doubt diagnosis now. Call 1-888-824-5989 and remember, it's not normal to have ongoing TBI symptoms. You can visit tbianalytics.org to learn more.